Hello students, welcome back to another online lecture of the online lecture series initiated by Shet Vidya Mandir, English High School and Junior College of Science and Commerce, Vasai. I am Mrs. Snehal Falkau. Students, today we are going to study a poem from section 2 of your English course book. The name of the poem is Money, written by W.H. Davis. Let us learn more about the poet William Henry Davis or W.H. Davis. William H. Davis was a Welsh poet and a writer. He was born in Newport, Wales. He was a son of an iron worker. He spent a significant part of his life as a tramp or hobo in the United Kingdom and United States, but he became one of the most popular poets of his time. He became a peddler and a street singer in England. Despite living a significant part of his life without a home, W.H. Davis was one of the most popular poets of his time. Davis wrote his first poem named Death when he was only 14. This poem was prompted by the moment he was asked to sit with his grandfather who was dying at that time. After several years of a wandering life, he published his first volume named The Soul's Destroyer and Other Poems. The principal themes in his work are observations about life's hardships, the ways in which the human condition is reflected in nature, his own tramping adventures, and the various characters that he met. The poem Money tells us about a rich man who wants to be poor again to find real happiness. He tells us that when we have money, we don't realize its worth. It is when we do not have money or have lost all our money, we realize how important money is. In this poem, the poet William Davis makes the readers face the reality of life. From a distance, a rich man looks happy because he has the biggest security of his life, that is money. But the poet wants to tell his readers that the truth is not so. Let us now look at the poem Money. When I had money, oh, I knew no joy till I went poor. For many a false man, as a friend, came knocking all day at my door. Then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. Because a man is dead, I dared not to speak to let this false world know. Much have I thought of life and seen how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. So when I hear these poor ones laugh, and I see the rich ones coldly frown, Poor men, think I, need not go up so much as rich men should come down. When I had money, money, oh, my many friends proved all untrue. But now I have no money, oh, my friends are real, though very few. Written by William H. Davis. Now, let us look at the stanza-wise explanation of the poem. First stanza. When I had money, money, oh, I knew no joy till I went poor. For many a false man, as a friend, came knocking all day at my door. Students, in this stanza, the poet says that when he was rich and wealthy and had lot of money, he did not know what real happiness is. He realized what real joy is only when he became poor. He says so because when he was rich, many people came knocking at his door and pretended to be his true friends or well-wishers. But in fact, they were not. They did not come for his happiness, but they came only for his prosperity. They just wanted to maintain friendly relations with him because they were greedy for his money. You must have heard that wealth brings a lot of false friends. The same has happened with the poet. There are many people around him who try to tell him that they are his friends, but in fact, they are not. They are just there for his wealth and because he is rich. Second stanza. Then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet that he must not blow. Because a man is dead, I dared not to speak to let this false world know. In this stanza, the poet compares himself to a child who has got a trumpet in his hand, but he is not allowed to blow it. A trumpet is a musical instrument. Dear students, you must have seen that whenever any child has a toy in his hand, he plays with it just like he wants to or just like he pleases. But in this case, there is a child who has a trumpet in his hand, but he is not supposed to blow it. The poet compares himself to this child who has a trumpet in his hand and cannot blow it. The child does not have the freedom to blow the trumpet. Similarly, the poet has a lot of money, but he does not have the freedom to do whatever he likes. And because he cannot do anything, he is not happy. He is not supposed to do whatever he likes because being rich, he has to follow certain etiquettes and he has to follow certain norms. And so he cannot do whatever he likes. And he does not want this false world around him to know about it. Third stanza. Much have I thought of life and seen, how poor men's hearts are ever light, and how their wives do hum like bees about their work from morn till night. In this stanza, the poet expresses his thoughts. He thinks continuously about the meaning of life. He has realized how a poor man's life is so difficult and hard for their hearts to be any lighter. These poor men work very hard from morning till night, but their wives always hum. That is, they always grumble and are not satisfied or contented of their husband's work. Their wives are not happy about the hard work done by their husbands. Maybe because their husbands do not make enough money to make them happy. Stanza 4. So when I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown, poor men think I need not go up so much as rich men should come down. In this stanza, the poet hints at the merry-go-round like movement of his own life. The poet says that if at all by any chance the wheel of fortune turns and the rich lose their prosperity and wealth, they will frown and the poor people will laugh at this changed condition of the rich people. As a rich man, the poet has experienced so much falsehood and deceit by fake friends around him. He feels that the poor people need not become rich because if they become rich, they too will be victims to falsehood and deceit just like the poet. However, the poet thinks that the rich people should experience poverty so as to be able to handle the reversed situation well. Fifth stanza. When I had money, money, oh, my many friends proved all untrue. But now I have no money, oh, my friends are real, though very few. At the end of the poem, the poet laments about his past days when he was rich and wealthy, and he had a number of friends who proved to be untrue. Means they were not his real friends. They only pretended to be his friends. They all were fake. They failed the poet many times. However, the poet does not regret the loss of prosperity and wealth. In fact, he is happy that he is not rich anymore because now he knows who his real friends are. When he is poor, he has only a few friends, but he is happy because these few friends are the ones who are real and honest. They are loyal in their friendship with him. The poet enjoys their company more than the company of the money that he had. This was the explanation of the poem. Dear students, what do you learn from the poem? The message is simple and clear. Money does not mean everything in life. Of course, money is essential, but we should not make it our top priority. Also, when we are rich, we should know what kind of people want to be with us. Are they real or are they fake? Also, the most important thing to remember is that money can buy you all the expensive materialistic things in the world, but it cannot buy you happiness. Also, when you have money, you should use it wisely. Let us now take a look at the figures of speech employed in the poem. In the poem, we come across several examples of inversion. Inversion is a figure of speech where the grammatical order of the sentence is incorrect. In the first example, for many a false man as a friend came knocking all day at my door. In this example, the grammatical order of the sentence is incorrect. The correct grammatical order is, for many a false man came knocking all day at my door as a false friend. Then felt I like a child. The grammatical order here is incorrect. The correct grammatical order is, then I felt like a child. Next example, much have I thought of life. Here again, the grammatical order of the sentence is not correct. The correct grammatical order is, I have thought much of life. And the last example, poor men think I need not go up. The correct grammatical order of this line is, I think poor men need not go up. We also come across two examples of simile in the poem. Simile is a figure of speech where two things are compared to each other with the help of words such as like and as. First example, then felt I like a child that holds a trumpet. In this example, the poet who believes he has no freedom compares himself to a child who holds a trumpet in his hand but does not have the freedom to blow it. This is an example of simile because the poet compares himself to a child. Second example, and how their wives do hum like bees. In this example, the poet has compared the poor men's wives to bees. To be more specific, he has compared the grumbling of their wives to the humming sound made by the bees. Repetition. Repetition is a figure of speech where words are repeated for greater emphasis. Example, when I had money, money oh. In this example, we can clearly see that the word money is repeated twice in this line. And thus, this is an example of repetition. We also come across onomatopoeia in the poem. Onomatopoeia is a figure of speech where certain words are used which indicate sound. Example, and how their wives do hum like bees. In this example, the word hum indicates the sound made by the bees, and hence it is an example of onomatopoeia. Antithesis. Antithesis is a figure of speech where two words which are opposite in meaning are placed close to each other in order to highlight the contrast. Example: so when I hear these poor ones laugh and see the rich ones coldly frown. Here, two words, poor and rich, are opposite to each other and they are placed close to each other in order to highlight the contrast. Similarly, the words laugh and frown. Again, they are opposite in meaning and they are placed close to each other to highlight the contrast. That is all from today's video. Thank you.